release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. Toxic, hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, good evening, unicorns, brujas, warlocks, wizards, and everyone in between. Welcome to Old School Bruja Radio's first show, live show, and I am here with my co-hosts Chanel and Mr. Scientific, and she's there shuffling cards, so be ready. And our guest tonight is Sequinta Hill. Hey. And she has a lot of insight about what we're going to talk about today, which is the Pennhurst Asylum ghost visit. But before we get into ghost hunting, ghost visiting, we are going to talk about trendy brujeria, trendy spirituality today. So if it's the first time tuning into us, if you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, you can see us live, you can tune in, you can call in, and also join us on the Facebook live feed. I am right here. I can interact with you. If you have questions or comments, you can do that. And we have a lovely guest calling in today. Her name is Shakti the Gypsy, and I am so excited to have her on air. It's her first time. We wanted her here physically, but unfortunately she had to leave town. She is in Atlanta, but she has some great insight for you today. So let's get started on this. So the reason why I wanted to talk about trendy spirituality, because it all started with Sephora and Nordstrom.
What is that?
And it pissed me off all the way because it took spirituality into the realm of corporate profit and just letting it get consumed by corporate America.
Right.
Dollars.
Yeah.
Right? And it loses its meaning. It loses its purpose. So I wanted to get into that today, and I definitely want to hear from the audience today on what they think about the trend of spirituality and your opinions on it. And why do you believe it's trendy, or maybe you don't believe it's trendy, or you have, formulated an opinion as to why you think it should be the way it is right now. So I'll go and continue talking about my annoyance, my grievance with the trendy spirituality, and taking it back a step to where I started. So I started at 4 years old, where I started seeing spirit, talking to spirit. They would visit me. I didn't really have a choice. It wasn't something that I could get up and Google. This is the 80s. It wasn't there. And I was blessed enough to have a mother, a grandmother, a godmother, and a family espiritista, so the family spiritualist, who taught me everything that I learned throughout my life. I've been reading cards, started off with playing cards, then it went into matches, then it went into the Ouija board, and from there went into the Walter Waite Tarot, which was my first real tarot card deck that my mother had gotten me. And so through that, I've studied brujeria, witchcraft in many different realms, many different religions throughout my lifetime. And sorry about that. And as I come into my own as a grown woman living a full life as a witch out in the public, it bothers me that someone, or anyone rather, can just pick up a tarot deck, Google how to use it, go to Pinterest or whatever, and then start seeing clients. That is not how witch work works. That's not
it's like
how
some random man walking into the confessional saying, "Tell me your sentence." Literally. And just for the people who kind of are not familiar with what's going on, Sephora released a, what did they call it? A witch's box?
Witch's entry-level box.
Entry-level box. So what Sephora did was they took elements that we use in our practice and kind of made a commercial product. I feel like it's highly offensive. They show no respect to what we do as far as, you know, our process, whether it be our offerings or whatever spirit we're working with. It's just kind of a slap in the face. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, okay, here's spirituality for $49.99 or however much that box costs. It really just undermines everything that we do.
It undermines it, but it also opens a Pandora's box if you are not ready for it.
Yeah.
It opens portals that you're not ready for.
How about that?
And I had mentioned on my Instagram and my Facebook, I don't see Gwyneth Paltrow, I don't see Kylie Jenner, these people who are making these witch boxes, who are solely for the purpose of financial gain.
Profit, yeah.
I don't see them coming to you when you do get a spiritual attack. When you don't understand what those cards are telling you and shit's popping off. How do you handle that?
Right.
Only someone who's been doing that for a long time can teach you how to navigate situations like that.
Correct.
And Mrs. Scientific, what are your thoughts on this spirit box or witch entry-level box?
So I actually refused to open up any of the news pieces about it because I knew I was going to go crazy. For me, tarot has been in my life for so long, whether I was in the closet with it or now that I'm public with it, but it is abused. Tarot is so sacred. This is how you connect to the other side. This is how you connect to higher self. This is how you connect to spirit, period. For them to even think that they could formulate something like this and sell it, and if you're watching, if you pay attention to YouTube, I have an 11-year-old daughter. Her life is YouTube. So what message is that sending to her? She's not afraid of tarot, but if I was not who I was, and I wasn't here to give her this guidance, and she just went into Sephora and wanted to be a part of this trend, she would not be equipped with the knowledge of knowing the dangers of playing, because this is considered dabbling. So I looked at some of the information, I saw the stuff that you were posting, I was in support of everything that you said, but for me, I was getting angry, very angry, and I was internalizing this stuff because this is my life, this is my path. And again, it's corporate, it's for gain, and it's ridiculous. But there are people's children who are going to be exposed to things that they're not ready for. Do we think just a simple nightmare is just a simple nightmare? There's no such thing. Again, portals are being opened and no one knows. Look at the 3 cards that I pulled while you were just describing.
Show the camera.
Pretty much. Some of the nastiest cards in the deck. But
can you read what those cards are?
Would anybody in general, no one would really know what this means. 9 of Swords, this is loss of sleep, it's insomnia, it's anxiety, it's panic attacks, it is depression. The Moon is the card of mysteries, it's the illusion, it's the mask. And then the Tower, this is death. I mean, point blank period. So that's just the energy. And I constantly shuffle. I'm constantly throwing cards as people are speaking, because if I was not a part of your conversation, if I was just ear hustling, I would say to myself, oh, I don't want to be a part of that conversation. So that's pretty much my take.
I feel like, because I can't speak from a lifetime of brujeria, or, you know, of being in the lifestyle of witchcraft or practicing or anything like that, from a layman's standpoint, or I guess from a novice standpoint at this point, I think that it's just wholly and fully disrespectful on a level that is almost inhumane.
Absolutely.
Because it is the equivalent of, like I said, some man putting on a collar and walking into a confessional booth and claiming himself sacred, claiming himself enough and whole enough to be who can move your sins from you and place them somewhere else, and so that you are whole again. And that to me is fully disrespectful. It takes away the sanctity of it for those who practice it. And just to be that detached from other people and the things that make them whole and keep them spiritually healthy and sane and safe, even if it's just what they believe. To buy it as a cosmetic sort of, or no, I'm sorry, as a recreational, as a fun, as a game, something that is trendy and fashionable, is just wholly disrespectful, and it shows a lack of connection to humanity. I think to your fellow people.
It also shows a lack of responsibility, because to start opening.
I'm sorry. So let's just say on the same thing, I pick up a book and it's like the Exorcisms 101. And I roll up on that lady we saw on Facebook that was at the truck. Nobody was going to tell me that that woman was not possessed. Right. Nobody is going to tell me that. But I tell you, I'm your pastor. I'm your healer, right? And all I have is this book, this Exorcisms 101, and I'm going to come in here and save your daughter's soul. That is wholly disrespectful and dangerous.
Yes, it is.
I think people fail to realize that spirituality, when not religion, spirituality. I'm not talking about Christianity and Islam and Judaism and the Kabbalah. I'm talking about spirituality. When you are in alignment or tapping into the spirit world, so your divine creator, and tapping into Mother Earth and the power and the wisdom that you can get from our Mother Earth. When you start playing with that, and you don't know what you're doing, it is irresponsible for all parties involved.
Absolutely.
And as I tell people, what is a witch? A witch is someone who is in alignment with spirit and earth, right? And then we have the people who do tarot. We have diviners. We have babas. We have EAs. We have different levels of all of that. That takes training. That takes practice. You have to learn from someone who's been doing it a long time. You can't just pick it up one day. And this drives me up the fucking wall. Every day I see it on Facebook. I know for a fact you just bought those cards at Barnes & Noble. Your first, very, very first pair of tarot cards. Your very first deck, rather. And you read the directions. You made your little notes. And now you're posting a sale on Facebook. Number one, whoever goes to you is a dumbass. Yeah. Because you haven't been doing it long enough to give me the proper wisdom that those cards are saying. It's not just what those cards mean from the book that you have. It's you actually listening to spirit. It's you being clear enough and connected enough to receive that message. The cards are just a tool for them to talk, just like a pendulum. Exactly. It's a tool to talk. So these things need to be treated as sacred items, as sacred gifts. You wouldn't walk into a church, grab the Eucharist, grab the wine, grab the collar, hallelujah, hallelujah, I'm a priest. Everybody come in, tell me your sins, and I'll forgive you today. I will bless you in the name of the Lord. No, it does not work that way. No one will go to you if you did that, right? So what makes it any different right now with the tarot cards here? That's not fair to the person that you're reading, because you're not giving them clear direction, and it's so dangerous for yourself. And I tell people this all the time. You're playing with things that you don't know. It is cute. We look cute. We got the tattoos. We got the beads. But let me tell you something. These beads come with the ceremony. These beads are initiated. You can't buy your beads from any botanica or crystal shop or any sister that's selling them and say, look, I got my Oshun beads. Yeah, that's not how any of this works.
Literally.
In order for you to get your collares, in Spanish is necklace, or your alekis, your beaded necklace, your sacred beads, your Baba Ige must initiate you, speak with spirit, get the proper Orisha that you're supposed to wear, assign that to you. Not saying that the Orisha is who you be crowned under, but it's who has your head. Okay, there's a difference. Alright, so I'm going to take a quick break, but before that, I wanted to make a shout out, okay, Antoine, the massage therapist of the gods, okay? She beat my back up, I'm just letting you know. So shout out to my aunt Restored, and they're amazing gifts, they're amazing hands, they're amazing massages. They're throwing amazing spa parties. Have you ever had a spa party? You should get one. And now that summer's over, we're all going inside. We need to take care of ourselves. I would like a spa party. I would like a Bruja spa party.
That actually sounds amazing.
You know what I mean? So get a massage. Go to www.myauntrestore.com and get more information. Have a talk with her, set up your appointment. They have facials, massage. Just get yourself together for the winter and take care of you. So we're going to head out to a break, and we're going to continue this conversation. When we come back, we're going to have Shakti the Gypsy on the line with us, giving her input on the situation of trendy spirituality. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
The real.
You right.
That's the real deal.
It's period.
You right.
And all that old money shouldn't go toward this. Money should go to if the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week. You don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is. Radio show.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall is going to be a movement, and that's what I believe we are doing. Is we're creating a movement where people essentially, even after we've presented in these workshops, then they'll be inspired to sort of document some of the things that they've gone through and empower somebody else. So it'll be like a chain effect. So they'll see that, you know, we were just 3 women who have gone through various things and experiences in our lives, and we just took the opportunity to sit down, put it in a book, and then it'll be a movement, and then other women will be inspired to do the same thing. Let me tell you, we are better together. We are so much better together, family. I'm telling you, when we band together, put our resources and our experiences together, we can create a movement, and that's what it's about, inspiring people to do more than what they may currently see of their own lives, that they can do so much more. So yeah,
you are exactly right.
Be Inspired Radio Show. Tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that. Cool! That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a -65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that then your average game you're losing by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like -65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement. Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And welcome back. We are back here at Old School Bruja Radio, and we have our special guest, Quinta Hill, joining us, and our co-host Chanel and Mr. Scientific. And before we get started again, I just want to talk about a new show alert. Skyline Radio Show premiering tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio, followed by an all-new Salacious Life Radio at 9 p.m. So BeExposedRadio.com. And guess what? I am hosting Salacious Life Radio tomorrow right here. I'm covering for Dr. Wren. She will be calling in as we talk about all kinds of sexiness. Nothing is off the table.
There we go.
As it is with us tonight.
How about that?
So we were just talking about the tarot cards and trendy spirituality. And during the break, Mr. Scientific mentioned a specific deck that you should not play with. Now, you shouldn't play with decks. This isn't playing. So when you're first learning, you're diving in. And I always recommend going with angel cards that are very gentle and they're very basic. And it gets you to know the energies. You become familiar with the energies that you're working with, the energies that come through. Angel card decks are usually very soft. And as you go along, you're going to find different decks that bring different energies. One deck that I use that's very popular is the Fountain deck. It is one of my favorites, but it doesn't sugarcoat shit. I've had several readings in the last 4 days where people were getting chin checked. Like, even I was kind of like, I'm about to insult you, but it's for your highest good. Stop being an arrogant asshole because you're creating blockages for yourself. So, Mrs. Scientific,
yes, ma'am.
What deck are you talking about here? And if you can show the camera what deck it is and why you shouldn't fuck around.
So, just in general, tarot it's not like the Ouija board, you just pick it up and you start playing. Again, piggybacking off of what you talked about earlier about the dangers of playing with these decks. So this deck I found, this is called the Lenormand. It's a French system. And I purchased these online after using tarot for years. I've been doing this since I was 18, on and off. This deck I found, it's only 36 cards. It is not tarot. It is a straight fortune telling deck. These cards do not play. There is a specific pattern that you read them, and you should not be just pulling one card here and there. I post on Instagram. I do pull them that way because I've made them mine.
Right.
I know how this deck works.
You've been working with them for 20 plus years.
It's been a minute. And this deck in particular, when you lay them, it is not to be read like tarot. You don't do the whole Celtic cross. You don't read it that way. I don't even read it the way that the book is recommended because I have not done enough research to use them in that way. It is a very frightening deck to use as the book is recommending. And with me, with all tarot, all the cards that I've used, I read the book once and that's it. The book is gone.
Yep.
I have taken notes. I remember, this was like in 2016, I told you when I decided to come out to my husband. And we talked about his fears. He did not want me to go public. He did not want me really to be reading. And so to prove myself to him, I took a legal pad and I wrote 3 pages back and front for each card in tarot, which is 78 cards in the deck. I cut out a picture of each card, and this is some tedious stuff. It is a lot of information, and I did that to show him that I can show you God in every card. This is not devil work. This is not, you know, all this Hollywood hocus pocus stuff. It's not.
Hold on 1 second. So when you say this is not devil work, this is not Hollywood hocus pocus, I need folks to really understand here, especially my Christian anti-Bruja audience. We do not worship Satan. We
Period.
do not believe in Satan. You guys so eloquently created that. Congratulations. It ain't got shit to do with us. We believe in the underworld, where there are entities that we also can use for our highest good, that we can work with for our highest good. There's a whole underworld that we can dive into. I use it in my healing practice. You can speak to anyone who's attended my fire meditation. And we believe in spirit. We believe in deities. We believe in prophets. We believe in angels and saints. We believe in gods and goddesses. We believe in the Orishas. I think that we need to make that clear right now before I get flooded, that we are not devil worshipers. Witches, true witches, are in complete alignment with spirit and earth. So with that, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to let y'all chew on that and let Mr. Scientific finish.
So back to this deck. So I've noticed that a lot of people they're gravitating towards this deck because the cards are really nice. They're very bright. They are very literal, but you have to be trained to know what the numbers mean. What do the symbols mean? The cards actually mean something, but just because the book says it means this. So what is Spirit telling you? Spirit is always speaking. Even sitting here, Spirit is giving me messages for her. I haven't even met you formally. Spirit is constantly giving me, and for you, it is just not to be played with. But this deck, this is called Lenormand, and it delivers truth constantly. Even me, I try not to read myself, but when I get myself into a predicament, I will pull cards for myself. I don't like what I see. I put the deck back together. Yeah. I shuffle and I lay again. And they're like, bitch, I just told you, try me.
I love when, and I will do that because I'm hard-headed. I don't do that in E5, because in E5, when I do my divination for myself, you don't ask the question twice. You ask it once, you get your answer,
and you go home.
Don't keep asking the same shit. But when it comes to my cards, because I work with them so much, I'm like, you bugging. Okay, I'm going to shuffle those back up.
Do it again.
And then I'm going to read them again, and then they come out exactly the same way.
And I have been there and watched her reshuffle the deck multiple times, and it comes out the same.
They're like, bitch, I told you.
But just to quickly piggyback off of what you just said a couple of minutes ago, as far as people thinking that we worship the devil, I want to say that has been put in place on purpose to create fear. Anything that's going to stop you from being the most powerful version of yourself is what will be put in place to stop you from being the most powerful version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And once you know that, you can navigate around it and get the information that you were always supposed to have. When you live by this is what I'm told, or this is what sounds right, and not this is what feels right, you will wind up in that space of being afraid of what you don't know about. So I would encourage everybody to do their research.
Yeah, because you know what, it's not even though if you go with what sounds right and feels right, because, and this is not a knock on Christianity. I went to a Catholic school, a Baptist school. I grew up in a Baptist home. I had
Christian school,
Jewish friends and Muslim friends. I went to the mosque, the synagogue, mass, and Sunday service, right? So it's not always about what you believe and what sounds right and what sounds, because some of those stories are outlandish.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And it takes a certain amount of either full faith or blind, unquestioning faith.
Exactly.
That allows you to continue to practice and believe something you've been told without questioning.
Yep.
And I became of the opinion, and this is still going toward this you don't worship the devil thing. I became of the opinion that I needed to know more, because, like you said, it didn't feel right.
That's right.
Anymore. And I began to think that there should be no reason why any answer that is solid and unquestionable should go unquestioned.
How about that?
By anybody that believes it.
We are
There
taught
should
to
not
fear
be
that question.
any reason why any follower should not be able to question a belief.
Absolutely.
To question a doctrine and be punished or chastised for that if the answers exist. And if they're always going to be the same. It should be no reason. So quickly I began, when I went through my own personal trauma, I was sitting at my desk and I was so wholly broken. I did not know how to get back to whatever version of myself I knew, right? And something told me, you need to see Lynette. We were not friends. I met you once or twice, and it was just like, you know what? I need to see Lynette. I have been right as rain since that moment. Have I had times where I needed, some reassurance? Absolutely, because we're all human. But one of the absolute first things that I learned, not by questioning, but by watching and listening and observing what people are doing when they're not being questioned, that there is no devil in this.
How about that?
There is no devil in this practice.
The devil was created to oppress us. The devil, the correlation of the devil is Cernunnos, the horned god, the god of the hunt, the god of the woods, right? He is the one that we go to when we need to get a good harvest, when we need to go hunt for food, when we're having a dilemma, we go into the forest. So other people might say it's Elegua, right? Or Papalegba, right? It depends on where you're coming from. But when you try to take our practice, and this goes into trendy spirituality too, you take our practice, you make us water it down to make yourself comfortable.
That's it.
You make us become you. You make us become full of fear and doubt and disempowered. The minute you take away all of that Christianity, that oppressive stuff that we've been taught, all of that, you can't talk to this, you can't do that, you can't do this, God's gonna punish you. You're gonna burn in the lake of hellfire. All that is bullshit. Take all that shit away. Take your spirituality and connect and really open up and see how empowered you are when you get that message from spirit, when you get that comfort, when they cover you with that beautiful bliss. You know what I'm talking about.
And when you receive it, it is
I know.
life-changing.
All right.
It will save your life.
We're about to go on break. We're going to take a quick break and come back and continue the conversation, and then we're going to add Shakti to the conversation. Stick with us. I'm Old School Bruja. We'll be right back with Old School Bruja Radio.
By Demand Radio Show.
2 years ago. If you broke that bike and it don't work, that's on you, brother. I suggest you get that toolkit out back and then start working with it, right? Yes. So my son's looking at me like, wow. And I broke down to him how we had got fixing flat tires down to a science. You understand what I mean? Sticking the tube in the water. Right? Talk to me, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Critical thinking. And seeing, we look at that now, and like kids, they not as on hands like we were back in the day.
That's because nowadays you don't have to put the bikes together anymore. They can come assembled.
Yeah, everything's coming assembled.
In the store, they ask you like if you want it already assembled.
Right.
Back then you just got the box with 1 million pieces.
Right, and today I don't think they could work with that.
It's just like the thought process. Nowadays you get a bike that's already put together. Now when you were younger, you had to put this bike together.
You got to put it together.
That basically closes your mind into learning how to do something. Now.
Yes.
Now you're giving it something. So, okay, you take this and this is what it is.
Right.
So now we have to run with this instead of teaching the child, this is how you put this together so you to see the result as this.
Right. Critical thinking. I like that. So look, not to cut you off, Mr. Denise, but let's go to our first commercial break, and then we're going to come back and finish talking about critical thinking.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew.
Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you
on.
say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
It's time for flashback.
Now, I'm not gonna say all Aries don't know, but
It's just the one you had. That was just
particular one, right? You know. Yeah. But it's always something that you can
Go ahead, listen. Can you recollect?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
No, but I'm saying
Then-
they
then-
on blast.
Ben.
And we're back. Sorry, I was reading something. So we're back, and we were continuing our conversation on trendy spirituality, Christianity, doubt, Satan, devil, and most importantly, fear. So in most recent conversations, I've met a few new people, and when they learn that I'm a witch, they immediately are like, oh my God, right? They have this whole thing that I'm this evil person, I'm this dark person, that I'm just gonna go and start casting demons, and that is gonna attach to you, and you're gonna live this life of doom and gloom. That is not how any of this
pure ignorance.
It is ignorance.
It's just pure ignorance.
But I like when people ask me questions because that gives me a chance to educate them. But as you had said, people operate from a place of fear, right?
I believe that fear is the devil for people. I think that's what the devil is for people. It's fear.
Right. Because if you do wrong, you're going to hell. And that devil with
That
the
ain't
big
nothing
old
but the
giant dick
devil.
is gonna get you.
But really, what is it? What are you facing?
Watch the giant dick devil.
No, honestly, think about that. I believe that the term devil represents people's fear. And it's different for everybody.
I know a
But-
few devils personally.
Yeah,
but
me
carry
too.
on, carry
I
on.
know a couple. But we were just basically, discussing how people practice and react and pray based on fear. And it's unfortunate that...
And it's not a natural fear.
No, absolutely
it's not. A natural fear.
No.
It's very much learned.
Absolutely.
It's taught.
And when you challenge that fear, you are looked at in a negative way.
Yeah.
Like for me, when answers started not making sense, and I experienced, just quickly, I experienced something paranormal a year ago, which is kind of what shifted me into this place. Once you start asking questions, people look at you like, what are you doing? Why are you challenging this?
The nerve of you.
The nerve.
The nerve of you to tap into your power. How dare you align with spirit? How dare you tap into the natural God-given innate ability to be a psychic medium, to work with the elements and be the best witch you can possibly be, to create a life for your highest self? How dare you? Because Jesus said it was bad. Don't talk to the dead though.
Right. Oh, but
what?
But what?
Did he say that though? Can I call Jesus on the main line? Because last time I checked, Jesus was dead.
They said he said that.
Guys, even down to possession. When you look at like me, for example, when I think about possession and I think about allowing a spirit to take over, I'm looking at it from a total different standpoint of what I used to. When I was coming up, I can remember and I say super Christians because those are the people that I refer to as people who only lead their lives in the way that they believe, quote unquote, Christ would be okay with or allow. I remember people saying witchcraft and sorcery is of the devil. And that's all information that they were told but never did their research.
Right, because if they did their research, they would see that Christianity,
and this is not a show bashing.
It's not.
No, not at all.
This is just the most relevant,
is completely educational.
View. I'm coming from a Christian household, so I'm speaking from what I was taught.
This is, and it's facts. It is facts. You are taught that this is all wrong. You are taught that you're not supposed to do this, but your Bible is divination, and you say it is the word of God. The word of God. God is not in human form. God is spirit. God is not male. God is not female. God is spirit. There's no color, right? And then you talk about don't talk to the dead. You talk to Jesus. You pray to Jesus. You pray to your saints. You pray to your angels. That's connecting with spirit. And then when you receive message from spirit, when you're like, God told me this, you just divined for yourself. You just have a different name for it. But when you put words like divining and spirit and connecting and doing all that, that becomes scary to someone who's been oppressed by this book.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then even in the book, there's constant oppression going on in this book.
Constant.
Because it was created during different times, different centuries that was fitting for that time. Right? So speaking of some of the things that are in there, one in particular, because this also came up about me being, you know, all out and gay. And they were like, it says it's wrong. But the Bible also says that you should give up your virgin daughters to male visitors. You shouldn't wear leather. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. But I see all y'all doing that. All the premarital sex, all of it. So I say this, again, not to bash Christianity, but to give you a context of where the fear comes from. The fear is imagined.
That's it.
It is imagined fear to keep you mentally trapped.
That's it.
And with that, I believe we do have Shakti the Gypsy on the line with us. Is that right? I'm just talking to the engineer in my ear. Oh, we don't have her on the line yet. So we're going to wait for her to get on the line, but she's going to join the conversation after the break, is what I just got in my ear. But I want to dive into divining, since we're on the topic. And Mrs. Sai, when we come back, because we're about to go on another break.
It goes so fast.
It goes so fast. Just having such a great time. So again, we're about to go on break. We'll be back, and when we come back, we're about to do some divining. All right? See you in a minute. Thank you.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, a sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals is they're like one of the worst teams in the Major League Baseball right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer
He's not the one.
record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and
Hey, this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Be Exposed Radio.
It's a family affair if you want to look at it that way.
It is. I totally agree, and I believe I believe that this wisdom on the wall.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And welcome back to Old School Bruja Radio. So the conversation keeps going because we have just so much to talk about. So those who are just tuning in, we've been talking about trendy spirituality, oppression because of beliefs from other religions. More specifically, we were talking about Christianity, more for context, not for bashing. And we were talking about divination and fear. And speaking of divination and fear, we have Mrs. Scientific, our resident tarot reader and magical being. And she's going to read our...
Oh my gosh, she just talked about these cards and now I'm scared to hear from them.
She's about to read Sequenta. And is there anything we should know in advance before we do this reading live on air?
Not at all.
Okay.
Would you like me to do something?
What? I'm sorry.
Do I need to dilute anything for you?
Dilute anything? Oh, give it to me.
Because this fell out as we were.
Okay, tell me what that is.
Okay, so that is basically prosperity. That is good fortune. That's also some opportunities. Okay. Number 2 in the corner is basically an indication you're looking at a time frame of about 2 months. Something is going to break open for you.
Oh, look at you.
Okay. So a quick, dirty read. I'll pull one.
Take a note.
I love the quick and dirty.
Quick, dirty.
Hold up, this is my reading she gave me.
Oh. Well, I don't want to write
We
on that.
can't put that one on.
No, we cannot.
Here, you can take my segment stuff.
Thank you.
So this one won't be a part of the reading. This is just a freebie from Spirit that fell out. So the focus here is a union, a relationship, or some type of a connection.
Okay.
This can also be considered maybe a contract between 2 people. So it doesn't have to be intimate. Take what you need, leave something for later.
Okay.
So the first 3 cards, the first row will be the energy that is kind of following you. First card is a scythe. This is telling me that in order to experience a harvest, you must let go of something. Something is either going to be taken from you or you're going to have to voluntarily give it up. Cut it out of your life to experience a harvest. What is this actually connected to is a child. So something needs to change. This change will affect the child. So if this is not a reading in this row for you, this could be energy that you need to take back to her, him or her. Something needs to change. You need to give something up. It could be a habit or practice or just a mindset. When that happens, then you will be in a place where you will no longer, or she or he will no longer feel stuck. Right now, this anchor is telling me that this person or you, this connection that you have, is feeling very grounded. If you, do you carry crystals?
Sometimes, not routinely.
If you do, I would suggest do not carry too many dark colored stones. Dark colored crystals, tourmalines, obsidians, those are very grounding. And if you have too many, and I tell people all the time, you shouldn't sleep with the dark crystals. You will be fully grounded. You will be stuck. Second row will be the situation. And this is the second time this comes up for you. So the card of the sun, this is exposure. So this row is the situation. So some exposure, something is going to be uncovered. Information is going to come to the forefront. It has to do with you and this other person. Again, it doesn't have to be an intimate connection, but it's someone that is very dear to you. It can also be a business partner. Last card in this second row is Anubis. Anubis comes as the death card. Anubis always shows up. He is one of my divine parents, connected to you as well. Anubis comes to say transformation is needed. Transformation.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Final row is final outcomes to the last 3 cards. So this is toxic energy. This is the serpent. This is energy that you do not need to have connected to you. This could be something, it does feel like it's work related, workplace related. Next to the serpent or next to this toxic energy is the home, or the home card. This tells me that whatever that is over there has been affecting how you have been operating or living in your home. You may not feel comfortable in your home anymore. You may have some ideas that you want to leave the home or move or to come to a better place dealing with a residence. The last card is a star card, and this is my favorite card in this deck. This card deals specifically with the element or the energy of Aquarius. Aquarians are the intellects of the zodiac. People like to argue, but it is so. Aquarians are the thinkers. This card, the star card, says you are in exactly the right place at the right time. You are fully in alignment right now, and this feels like this makes sense, this row makes sense, this feels like this is a hurtful row for you, and this feels like you're going to come to some understanding, especially with Anubis. If you want a connection to Anubis, it feels like he wants a connection to you. I would definitely say do some research, speak to Lynette about this deity, and if you have any other questions about this deck specifically and what this card means, I'll tell you off camera.
Got it.
So that's your quick dirty read.
That was a quick and dirty reading. And what deck was this?
This is the Lenormand. This is not even tarot.
So again, for those who are tuning in, the Lenormand deck is not to be played with. It just read her whole life. The Lenormand deck,
accurately, I might add.
The Lenormand deck reads my whole life. every time she pulls it. And I love the other day you read it for me and you were like, you're gonna shit your pants. Everything just switched up on you.
No, literally. The whole thing.
Chanel got a call where I was like, bitch.
And I was like, girl,
telling me about
shuffle.
No, shit, it changed. I came over her house and she was like, hey, say hi. And I'm like, fuck is going on here? Like, who are you right now? I'm like, I know. I'm like, I'm not clear. What you doing over here?
No, literally.
Like, that's what
I had so many questions.
What the hell happened? She's like, girl, shit changed. My cards all changed. They all changed. I was like, no shit.
And then I said, do it again, and it was the same. And I was like, oh, they really changed. The whole
I didn't even need to see the cards.
You knew.
The whole damn entity.
I feel like when she saw me, she was like, what's going on here? What's happening in here? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I felt almost like, you know when your mother catches you doing something you're not supposed to do?
Literally.
That's what I felt when she came in. I felt like I was being judged on my whole life.
I knew.
Wow. But she knew. She knew. Because she's intuitive as fuck. So, I'm a little hot right now.
Sorry, that was great because that was good.
So you can take a photo before I put them back.
Oh, great.
So now, just for context, how do
also,
you feel?
can we
do you
share?
feel like
you didn't even introduce us, so let's just make that clear.
Yeah, she didn't.
Right.
We were not formally introduced.
First time they've ever seen each other.
Ever, once, ever. First time ever. Absolutely, eerily accurate, even down to the ambiguity I have surrounding the middle row, right? It could go intimate, it could go professional, because right now, both of those things are at the forefront, and a partnership with an intimate partner is also a potential right now. So it is a very interesting deck. I mean, interesting pull, because that last one, Anubis, you said it was transformation, right? A transformation has to.
It's a regeneration, a rebirth, and it's a full turnaround.
Yeah. And I just told someone today. They asked me. They were like, because they haven't seen me since I cut my hair, and I just told them I was growing my locks back the day before I cut my hair. And they were like, well, what the hell happened to you? And I said, oh, see, this happens when I got to get back to being myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of y'all shit.
Yep.
How about that? And I need to
and I need to do these things, and I was not going to be able to move forward until I got back to myself. So that regeneration, that transformation, this whole, all of that. Can you take a picture, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Yes, and we are in a good time of transformation. We're in October. We're in Mabon, which is autumn solstice, autumn equinox, sorry. And we have Samhain coming up, which is Halloween. And with that, the Old School Bruja team is going to do, drum roll, a ghost hunt. So we really don't call it a ghost hunt, we call it a ghost visit, because you can't hunt a ghost.
What is that?
We're visiting them in their space. So October 20th through the 21st, we are going to the Pennhurst Asylum, and we're doing a ghost visit.
We're going back there again?
We're going back there again.
Yes!
Have you been?
You know why?
So creepy.
You know why I think we should go back? Because we went the first time just to experience it. But now I'm prepared to go back and ask those same spirits who are stuck in there more questions.
Yeah.
And also to exceed what else I experience when I'm there. So if you are interested in joining our ghost visiting group, we're on Facebook at Old School Bruja Ghost Visiting Group. That's it. That's really what it is.
Okay.
All the details for that trip are listed there, as far as cost, how to get there, location, what to expect. However, if you do decide to go, please let me know in advance before you buy your ticket, because the link is there. Because there is a mandatory meeting that we must have a week prior to the visit to prepare you. Now, the preparation requires me to do a cleansing on you, talk about what to expect. When we go in there, all protections are down. So you don't have anything on you. We're not calling in Archangel Michael at all during this time. All we do is go in completely open, ready to speak and feel spirit. When I tell you, when we were driving there,
OMG.
It was ridiculous.
License plates was like free doctor,
demon, bones.
And
I remember the bones one. It was all white car.
It was like psycho. It was something about the doctor.
And so when the doctor is a significance because when we got there, Dr. Fear, who you can look up Dr. Fear on Google. Dr. Fear was the one who was in charge of torturing the children. And one specific one was a 5-year-old who was taken out of his environment and placed with the crazy adults, and that's where he wound up going insane. When this child really only needed parents, there was nothing wrong with him, but they made him insane. So we go there, we visit, we talk with the dead children that are there. There are hundreds of dead children. The weight of the place is extremely heavy, but when you leave there, completely transformed. When I left there, aside from the demon bruise that I had on my hip,
I saw it.
It was full demon face, eyes and everything. Once we left there and we regrouped, it changes you in a way because you really understand what the third eye is. You really understand what it is to go into a place where spirits are trapped, where they're tortured, where people have done rituals to bring up demons, and then the demons that are there are very, very vocal, and they tell you, do not investigate me.
Yeah.
They are very clear in their boundaries, and you have to respect those boundaries. But we are going, if you go to the ghost visiting group, you'll see some footage from our last visit, and there's more that's going to be added. We have video clips, we have tons of orbs where you can see the full face of children in the orbs, and I think that one got me the most.
It's with the teddy bear.
The little girl with the teddy bear. There's a little girl with a teddy bear. She would peek around the corner, and she showed up in all of our photos. So if you go, sure. I'm so sorry, I was talking to somebody. So before we go on a break, I just want to again shout out Ma'at Restored, and go to ma'atrestored.com. Get yourself a massage, a facial, book a spa party. We all need self-care, especially us brujas, because we work really hard and we're always giving our energy and we need to restore. So that's why I'm all for a bruja massage party. But go ahead, get yourself, book yourself a massage, a facial, chit chat with them, relax, and get it together. Get it up there nice and tight. So before we go to break, this is Be Exposed Radio, home of Cheryl Underwood Radio, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. and we will be right back.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child, and believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united.
America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we are back at Old School Bruja Radio with your host, La Fuerza, the Old School Bruja. And we were talking about the Pennhurst Asylum trip coming up, October 20th. Again, join the Old School Bruja ghost visiting group so you can be a part of the shenanigans. We had tons of fun, though.
It was tons of fun. We laughed hard. Almost cried hard.
Yes, yeah. The experience was a roller coaster of emotion. But at no time was there any spooky, like, jump out at you theatrical nonsense. It is not a theatrical event. It's not like your regular haunted house, and we go in there respecting the dead. Other people who go in on this, who are not with us, go in for different reasons, but we go there with the intentions to just visit, connect. If there's someone who wants to be free, then I will go ahead and do that for them. But really, they are stuck there, unfortunately. So we do bring toys and candy as offering for them and spending time with them. Super awesome. So, I wanted to talk about Venus in retrograde real quick. So I'm having a problem.
Aren't we all?
Okay, so Venus, for those who don't know, Venus in retrograde starts October 6th. And Mrs. Scientific, when does it end?
November, is it the 16th or the 19th?
November 16th, I think it was.
It's a long run.
It's a long run of fuckery.
It's a long run of, hey stranger, text messages.
Oh my goodness.
Can I tell you how lit my inbox was today with, hey baby. Like, who are you? I don't know you. Who sent you? Or the exes popping up.
Yes.
I love you and I need to spend some time with you, even if it's only 3 minutes.
That's a thing that was said? Sorry. I said that outside. Out from the rest of this show. So it was nice. Stimulating my outside voice.
I said it out loud. I was thinking it. But anyway, we're going to skip over what I just said.
Okay.
And really focus on the fucking of Venus in retrograde. How many of you out there are going through it right now? And we're just in the shadow period.
Just in the beginning.
Let me tell you, it has been. I feel like a USB port. And all I am getting is fucking downloads one after the other. But one thing that I super appreciate, Venus, is all the tea that you continue to spill day in and day out in the last 5 days. Here's one thing I do need to let y'all know. Whatever you got going on in the dark during Venus retrograde, guess what? It's coming to light, boo-boo. So, you can't.
Venus plays a lot of games. Stop playing.
Ain't that crazy how
you can't hide.
Can we show that, Miss Scientific? So as she's talking about these people popping up from your past, your old lovers, the share the love card comes up.
That's a good booty card. Like, stop it. Stop it.
That's the booty call card.
Speaking.
What deck is that?
What that is? That's a share the love?
This is psychic card.
That's the psychic card. And basically, we're getting a lot of booty calls. Singleton Newman, hi Singleton. She says 2 exes reached out to me 72 hours apart. One apologized and the other kept complimenting me. Agendas.
This is how it goes, sweetheart.
This is how it goes.
So she get engaged. So in these retrogrades, specifically Venus, you can engage. If you're looking for long term, it is not. It's purely, it is going to be purely sexual. As soon as Venus goes back direct, and then you have that little shadow at the end, they're gone.
It's over.
He or she, they're gone. So don't go in with this expectation that this is going to be, he's going to pop the question, he missed me, he's going to apologize, she's going to apologize. It's a booty call. I'm sorry.
So let's be clear that during Venus in retrograde, do not accept any marriage proposals.
Don't do it.
Don't get pregnant.
Don't do that either.
Because you can't give it back. How about that?
And
Mercury retrograde as well, but specifically Venus, because Venus deals with love.
Venus is one of my ruling planets, and I'm a hot fucking mess. I cannot tell you how horny I am day and night. I feel like a cat in heat. Like, I am a cat, right? I am definitely a cat. I'm always doing this. I move like a cat in bed. I move like a cat and very sensual. But I literally feel like I should be meowing and purring.
So that's affecting, I think it's affecting most of us, because I'm going through similar things where it's like, as soon as I wake up from the time I go to bed, I actually could be having sex.
You see?
The entire 24 hours.
Right.
Does it
happen the other way? Like,
before we were I hate to cut you off, but we have to go to another break. We're going to continue this conversation. So I want to talk about the new show on Skyline Radio Show. Premieres next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Followed by Salacious Life Radio at 9 p.m. Only here on Be Exposed Radio. And I will be hosting that tomorrow, covering for Dr. Wren. I'm sorry, it starts tomorrow. Sorry, I read that wrong. So tomorrow. Thank you, we'll be right back.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I swear that was so funny. I was like, "Why are you?" I just need answers right there.
We are coming back.
I feel like my forehead is shiny because it is. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, my forehead is so shiny.
We are back on. So, welcome back to Old School Bruja Radio. And we were talking about Venus in retrograde. We were talking about my insane sex drive and how I'm like a cat.
Yeah.
Let me stop because it's gonna be a long night if I don't get it together right now. But during the break, we continued our conversation and we were talking about, like, during this time, if your Venus is a ruling planet in your natal chart, be prepared for the...
Because it's coming.
I need a minute. And
now it's coming.
It's coming.
Literally coming.
No, legit coming.
You're really going through it. I'm sorry.
Y'all excuse us. We're going.
What's happening over here?
It's the retrograde.
What is it doing? What is it doing right now for you?
So for me, to be honest with you, like, just like you said, I'm constantly just in that space of wanting to have sex. Every minute of the day.
Yeah.
And it's something that happened as soon as I realized what time it was and that the retrograde was on its way. I was like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's intensifying by the day.
And we need to be really
days,
careful.
I
can't imagine what it's going to be like Saturday. And come Saturday, I have no words. I'm just going to call y'all and see how I'm feeling.
Because, you know, this retrograde is happening in Scorpio.
Right, and I'm a real Scorpio.
All water. Ow.
Splash.
All skeet skeet.
No shade.
It ends in Libra, which is going to bring the balance.
And that's when you get all dry?
Yeah, but literally. But that period of it being in Scorpio.
We can't take Lynette nowhere.
I feel for actual Scorpios.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
I'm just going to be here looking at my wounds in the corner.
Water signs, period. So you need to find out. You have your natal chart down. We can talk about it later. To see where your Venus is, what house it's in, and what sign it's in.
Okay.
You need to know. Mine is in Aries, so I already know I'm an animal. I already know this.
I'm an animal.
So
I'm a big old animal.
I don't know where mine is, and I'm a Scorpio.
You
It's
too.
not working for me yet.
Not right now. Wait till Saturday.
Okay.
And then we're all going to be doing body rolls.
Yeah, so for those who don't understand,
I wasn't doing that, but I think I wiped my mouth.
Let me get your chin real quick. But in that, okay, so you're telling me Venus in retrograde, don't expect a relationship, expect a booty call, expect...
You're going to hear from the past. Your
people from the past, the exes in the past, and the exes only want booty calls?
They're not going to be in the understanding of I'm connecting with this person from my past because they're just feeling the pull. All these planets are magnetically pulling. Retrograde just simply means it's going backwards. It's moving so slow, it appears to go backwards. So what does going backwards mean? It's a dragging. And because it's Venus, because Venus rules love and our emotions, it's dragging your emotions backwards. In the fact that it's moving in this transit of Scorpio, so now you have that water energy. So now you're really in your emotions. You're really, everything is fluid, everything is moving, but it's gonna slide into Libra, which is, Libra's an air sign. So then that's gonna have you in your feelings. So now you gave all this ass up, and now you're in your feelings.
Over feelings. Listen here, between the 6th planet retrograde that we just went through this summer and now this retrograde, I am extremely exhausted. I'm emotionally exhausted.
It is so draining.
I'm tired and my uterus is like, please just pound me out and go to bed.
And honestly,
and I'm like, bitch, I'm tired though.
Literally can't move past it. Like, I've been super vocal about it. Like, I will call, you know, the guy that I'm seeing right now and be like, you know, I'm emotional. I'm going through it. It just is happening every other day.
Do you have your crystals in your bedroom?
Baby, I keep them.
They should not be in your bedroom. If you're in that place, you need to clear them out of your room.
If she's in the horny place.
You remember you came to my house and you were like, Teresa, you have a whole I had a whole tray of crystals on my floor. You were like, what are we doing? Get these out of your room. Teresa, this is why you're dizzy and you're falling. I was literally spinning when we had all the retrogrades.
Yep.
I'm like, so Bruja, I am very dizzy. I fell into my shelf, dizzy.
Yeah.
Like I was drunk. Fell into, from the shower, into the wall of the shower. What is that?
And you know,
this
right now,
energy does not play.
No,
for me, I want to be around all of my stones. Like I've shifted my room around, so I'm sleeping close to my altar.
Yeah.
I'm just submerged in all of it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can actually get good sleep right now, because I'm constantly being, first of all, my dreams are vivid, but they're all very sexual. So again, those who know me personally know Carmen, my alter spiritual ego, who goes out into the world and has sex with you in your sleep, and then the next day you call me and you're like, you did something to me in my sleep. It wasn't me, it was Carmen. I take no responsibility. But
I've never met.
I wake up really exhausted.
Thank goodness.
And like today, I was
crazy.
literally like this. I was grounded. I went to the waterfront. I did my meditation. I grounded myself. I did my spirit work. I worked on my altar. I did everything I'm supposed to do. And I'm literally like this in my bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me do a real check real quick. So I went and I checked each one of my chakras and I got to my sacral. And I was like, oh.
Fire.
Yeah.
Got it. There's no way to put this fire out until I release. Jump on it. Ride it out. Surfboard it. I don't know.
Legit.
Something needs to happen, but I just can't deal with, I don't think I can handle 24 hours a day of feeling like this until the end of November. So it's going to be a busy Scorpio
time.
season.
Yeah.
My birthday is finna be lit.
Very lit.
I'm trying to like mine.
Tie it down.
Okay.
Chain it down.
Tie it down, chain it down, gag it, blindfold it, spank
Tie
it.
it up.
Do
anything that you need to do.
anything that
All
you need
those
to
things.
do.
Tie it the hell up.
Yes. And during this time, take care of yourself too. Like
self-care.
Make your space. Work on your altar. Take your problems to your altar. Do your magic that you know how to do. If you don't know, you can always call me. I'm magic all day, all night. I got a spell for everything. And whatever I don't know, I will refer you, because I have a whole entourage of witches that work with me. But I really am focused on doing some isolation work during this time, because I feel everyone else's energy and I can't sleep with everyone that comes in through my door. So that's not really an ethical witch.
It's all about good things. That's it. That's it. There. Keep it positive.
Absolutely.
Keep it sexy.
And you know, I'm excited about the retrograde. I am, because with that comes tons of new possibility. Right? New possibility for conversations,
opportunities, mingling, being social. Right. Just don't be attached to.
Exactly. Don't be attached to the dick, is what we're saying. Or the vagina.
Just don't.
Or the face. Depends on what you're doing.
Here. You can't exclude anybody.
Right?
We'll just stay open. Just be open.
Be open to whatever comes your way.
Be open
and then
to give and receive.
Right.
Without condition.
Reciprocity. There is going to be a condition. The condition is I need to bust 5 nuts before the night's over. I'm just saying.
Not 1, not 2.
Not 2, not 3. That's not enough. 3 is the preliminary.
Well, tell them how you feel.
No, I mean, it's witch pussy. Witch pussy is very different from regular pussy. Let's talk about our segment, How to Date a Bruja, since that's where we are right now.
So one of my son's friends are watching right now. How's Shakir?
They're okay.
Right. I'm not saying these things. This is not the timid type of show. You are a grown man now, though, so it's good to see you.
No, but seriously, like, if you are going to date a bruja, right? Especially trying to entertain a bruja during Venus in retrograde, I think that if you are not aware of what's about to go down in your life, the life-changing, magical, ritualistic sex that's about to happen to you, you should just cancel your dick appointment and your pussy appointment and just go eat dinner and go home. Because it changes you.
Yes.
I feel like you want to say something because I can literally hear your thoughts.
I don't want to say a goddamn word. I don't want to say a word.
But okay, so I'll be the only one to talk about that then.
You're not going to do this.
Yep.
To talk about this.
I'm going to talk about this.
Wow.
But seriously, dating, okay, so for instance, Chanel, you're new to the scene, right? Last year or two, you've been actually out, right? Through that, you can compare what sex was like before you became an out witch to now, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
We actually reflected on that earlier today. There is a huge difference. Now, with that being said, don't get me wrong, I have been fire since then. But
this is a lot of dicks.
The 9 of dick cards came up.
Carry on.
Of all cards.
You said fire. Wands are fire.
Notice the difference. Once you pay attention, you notice the difference. Like, it's a whole different situation. When you go from everything being purely physical to really tapping into other parts of yourself that you have not tapped into, and releasing that and sharing that with somebody else, it really is a different experience. And I'm happy about it. Let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's been a life-changing experience.
It is life-changing.
Wow.
Sex with a true bruja who's in tune with every single part of her body and knows how every single part of her body affects her partner is magical sex.
Yeah.
But you got to be prepared for it. And us as witches too. But we also we have to be prepared because we're gonna catch feelings.
Oh.
Well, even the most ruthless bruja, especially Scorpios, I heard you, boo. We're ruthless, right? I know I am. We should not abuse our power.
Right.
And that goes in our witchcraft, that goes in anything that we do. We shouldn't abuse our power. So I wouldn't say use your pussy to heal somebody or use your... I'm sorry.
That was involuntary. You want.
Don't listen to what Sequenza just said.
I think the lady's coming back.
Oh, she has a very giggly spirit guide who is a trickster. So don't use what you got for bad, pretty much. You're going to use it, use your vagina to enjoy sex, for reproduction, for all that good stuff. But do not try to reel someone in using your vagina, saying you're gonna heal them, or even oral or whatever it is. No sex act is going to create a healing space, if that's what you're trying to do, it's actually going to make things worse. Now, the other side of that, if you have a consensual partner who knows what's going on and you both set the intention for whatever it is you want to manifest or do magically, spiritually, using sex, that's completely different. I'm talking about abusing the power to try and reel someone in using magic and sex. That's wrong. And that's going to backfire on you 3 times over.
Now that's some devilish
without
shit.
fail.
However,
ma'am.
Miss Ma'am, if you have a consenting partner who is not in the craft, their life is fucking changed.
Yes.
And that's all I'm going to say on that. And these are the cards that I pulled as you were speaking, and I'm going to just...
Are those for me or that's a general?
This is for everyone at the table.
God.
This is for everyone at the table.
Because I don't know.
I see it from here. My heart's beating. Look, I'm living.
So this is move. So there's movement in the love that you're sharing and experiencing. There's a lot of movement. Yeah, restructuring.
No shit, Shirley.
Control.
No shit. It's no shit for sure.
Release your need to control situations.
Why are we all like this?
Like, releasing your need to control. I'm with you, Miss Scientific. I'm listening.
Release your need to control the scenario. Don't live your life so tightly wound. Unwind a little in the retrograde. Give it up a little bit more.
Okay.
All this ass. Are you serious? Love abounds. This is
unlimited ass.
And that means ass.
Unlimited ass.
Lots and lots
of booty.
And mine.
Titties.
It says teach.
So I have to teach my sex class during this.
Teach. I'm here for the teaching. I'm here for Sally.
We know.
That reminds me, I have to reschedule my sex class. I think I'll do it during Venus in retrograde.
It would be a benefit.
Oh. It would be extremely powerful during this time.
It would. I think people need to embrace their sexuality. They need to embrace their magic and their power. And coming from someone who is newly separated. All about the
embracing. Absolutely. Absolutely embracing the magical powers, magical beings. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what the possibilities are. So we're about to go on break, and a shout out to Ma'at Restore. That's www.ma'atrestore.com. Book yourself a spa party, a Bruja spa party, or just get a facial, get a massage. Just book your session with them. They are a wonderful sponsor, and we'll be right back right after this.
Treat somebody.
Be right back.
Treat somebody. I need to be.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it, eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on.
unrealistic. I'm sorry.
It's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
50s, late 40s, early 50s. That's not uncommon. It's a lot of. I mean, I can give you examples like that.
But it's a good thing he's dead because she can actually move on. Like you can't move on if he was alive. If he was alive and she found out she was having sex with her father for 15 years, you can't move on from that. Somebody's got to die.
You can't. It's gonna be hard.
Somebody's got to die.
So wait, that means he didn't know either, though.
Immediately, so I can stop vomiting because I don't have nothing else left to vomit. All my insides, all my skeleton.
He didn't know either. That's what would be the crazy part.
He wouldn't. He still doesn't know because he's dead. How does that game go? Marry, screw, kill? How does that work when it's your dad? Oh my gosh, we talk about stuff like this and more every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Talk Lately, the radio show. Only on BeExposedRadio.com and on YouTube live where you can see it.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I had to get a quick sip in. And we are back. And Old School Bruja Radio, and we were talking about how to date a Bruja. And for my Brujas who are listening, I would love to hear your opinions on this topic. What has dating as a Bruja been like for you? I know for me, it's been great for me, but I operate very differently. I come straight out. Look, I'm a Bruja all day, every day, psychic medium. This is what I do. If you don't like it, or you think I'm going to convert to something else, that's not going to happen. So I'm very clear up front on what I am and how I operate, so that way I can eliminate stupidity.
I think we need another show of
way ahead of time.
The topic should be, why would you try to lie to a Bruja?
We can talk about that right now.
Let's talk about that right now.
Why would you lie to a Bruja? Now, Bruja to Bruja don't lie to each other. Don't try to play each other. And if you're dating a Bruja, don't try to lie to us, because it's not going to work.
I throw cards all day, every day.
Right. If you're throwing cards all day, every day, what do you think is going to happen? The truth is going to come out.
I know which card to put under my pillow. I know which card to put under your pillow. I know which card to put on my altar to see what I need to see in my dream. So that when I wake up and you're still asleep, I already know the whole story.
Right.
That's how this shit works.
Literally.
With me, it's, I get a punch. Spirit punches me in the stomach. And it happened today. Spirit punched me in the stomach, and I lose my appetite and I get very nauseous. Usually I throw up because it's that hard of a hit. When that happens, 1, someone's betrayed me or tried to betray me. 2, lying, cheating, deceit. 3, someone tried to do brujeria and it just got blocked and now it's reversed back onto them. So today it was multifold. Tea. Oh, spilling the tea. About to spill this tea. So I go and I'm feeling all this and I'm like, something's not right. Right? Immediately I listen. Spirit's like, girl.
Does that how spirit sound?
That's how my spirit sounds.
Okay, go ahead.
I swear, it's so
It's just funny.
My spirit guide is so ratchet. You think my mouth is bad. So I heard her say, girl, I need you to sit down and listen real quick. So I did. I opened my altar, I sat down and I listened. And the revelations that came out today of a few folks in my circle who are trying to play around already, Spirit said they've already been caught, though they don't know that they've been caught. Right? And I just laughed because I was like, well, I knew that shit was going to happen because I called this a long time ago. But I mean, if you want to continue to lie and cheat and sneak and act like, call it something else than what it is, Spirit knows you can't hide. And guess what? When you are surrounded by people like us, none of that shit will fly. All right, so dudes, you messing with dudes or chicks, you're in a relationship and you want to fuck around, you want to play games, yo, real talk, you gonna get caught. Shit's gonna come up. Shit's gonna pop off. I'm gonna catch you in your game before you even start the game, cause I got a fucking game too. So remember that saying, you can't play a player, you can't game the gamer. You can't out Bruja.
No, seriously.
You can't fucking lie, yo. No matter what, you can't fucking lie because I'm going to see through that shit. And don't try to betray me neither, because there's a whole lot of ways I can turn that around for you. And I feel like if you are going to come to a Bruja and you want to engage with her in whichever way it is, right? A friend, a partner, a sexual partner, a long-term relationship, you need to be clear and upfront from the beginning on what your intentions are. Because all we got to do is, this is what all I have to do is go like this. And then just look at you. And I'll read you. If I want to go deeper, I can pull a card. I can go to my altar, pull for myself, divine for myself there. Or I call Teresa, because sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe, I really am not believing what I'm seeing right now. But I'm gonna just tell her to pull something. And then she's always like, girl, you gonna shit your pants, because you're right. But I think that when you try to beat around the bush and try to play all these games and shit, number one, we don't like our time wasted.
No.
We understand what all this is, and we're not here to play. And you try to play us, you're going to feel the wrath of a Bruja. Bottom line, whatever denomination you are. So, in the last minute of our show today, of our very first show of Old School Bruja, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsor, Ma'at Restore. Thank you to our guests, Chanel, our co-host Chanel, our guest Sequenza, our other co-host Mrs. Scientific, and all of those who watched today and joined in the conversation. We are here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Call us, log into Facebook. You can talk to us through there. And tomorrow, join me here at 9 p.m. as I cover for Dr. Ren Avery, Salacious Life Radio at 9 p.m. And again, you have a great night. And remember, tomorrow, Skyline Radio Show premieres live at 7 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio. Stay divine, stay wild, Bruja, and stay clear. Ashe. We out.
Sure.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business. business-minded individuals and just people in general. Really, I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play.